Hi everyone, it's Krista and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're not, hi again. So this is my channel. I love doing thrift flips. I also love making Dollar Tree items, decor items. I love to do wreaths. So if you like what you see here, you know what to do. Hit that red subscribe button. I would love to have you. And give me a like, it helps my channel, and also leave me a comment because I love to hear what you guys think. Now you can also follow me on Pinterest and Instagram. I'm always posting new stuff that I make. I also have my own wreath shop. It's called KristasWreathDesigns. It's an Etsy shop, and I will have that in my description box below as well. Today is all about Bloom with Grace. Our host is Monner's Market, and I am the co-host this month. So I picked violets or pansies because that is the flower for February. So let's get into DIY number one. So the first one, I took this old little decor piece that was from the Dollar Tree and some wood pieces that I had cut up and some wood of those wood blocks, the Jenga blocks. And I'm going to just take this welcome right out of the middle of that hoop. Now this was one of those gold hoops that they had a while back at Dollar Tree, but you could find hoops there all the time. They have them in the section where all the floral stuff is. And what I did is I painted it a hunter green color, and I didn't show you that because it's just painting. And then what I did is I took part of that wood that scrap wood that I had left over, and then these two Jenga blocks, and I kind of like glued them so kind of squeeze it together and keep it in place. And then what I did is I came in with one of these foam bunnies from the Dollar Tree, and I painted it with the mushroom color by Folk Art. And then what I did is I took some of these beautiful violets. I love purple. February is my birth month, so this is my favorite color, and I absolutely love purple. So this was perfect, and I loved that I picked these because purple gets a bad rap sometimes. So what I'm going to do is I cut them all off their stem, and these are actually from the Dollar Tree, these ones, and I'm going to kind of like stagger them like one on top of the other, kind of like in a bunch but going up. They're going to be like crawling up the side of the hoop, and I'm just trying to figure out how I want to place them. And then what I did is I took some floral wire, also from the Dollar Tree, and it's that dark green color so you can't see it if you use it, and I just used it and I just wrapped it around to hold the flowers in place. Now you can also use floral tape. I didn't have any, so I just used the wire. I also used a little bit of glue to glue the stems down into the base of that as well on the bottom portion, just so it would kind of stay in place a little bit better and I knew it was secure. And then I just kind of went up with each different color flower because this bush that I had of the violets were like different shades of purple. So very pretty. And the one had a little bit of white in it, and I really like that. And then I came in with this other bush that I had from the Dollar Tree of these white little tiny flowers, and it has a little bit of greenery on it. And I think these ones look so realistic. I really like some of the floral pieces that they're coming out with at the Dollar Tree are pretty good. And all I did is I kind of like made it bend and go over kind of like the top part, going towards the top area of the hoop. So you could kind of see what we're doing here. And then I did the same thing on the other side, only I didn't add as much. I also added another bush, which was some of this not eucalyptus, oh my goodness. I forgot what it's called. The purple one that you use for Easter. Oh my gosh, I just lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry, guys. But it's, I used some of that, and I just kind of went with the flowers that I liked. And then I came in on the bottom, and I wanted to cover all that up. So what I did is I came in with some Spanish moss, and I just took a bunch of it, and I kind of formed it in my hand a little bit so it wasn't going all crazy. And I just put a little glue and then glued it down. And I also trimmed around the edges as well with some of that because it does go a little crazy. And then what I did is I took some more pieces of the purple flowers that I had, and I just stuck a couple of them on the bottom. Now most of these flowers I had, except for the violets, I had to buy some violets because I ran out. But most of them I had in my stash for a while now. And then I took that little bunny and I just stuck him down on the moss, and I made a little garden for him, and I think it's just so adorable. Cute that came out. And then I decided to take an egg, one of these little eggs that has the speckles on it. You can get these from the Dollar Tree as well, but I think mine I got when it was like the end of the sale last year at like Hobby Lobby, or it could have been Michael's, I'm not sure. And what I did is I took some fishing wire and I just fed it through the inside of the egg with some glue and tied it to the top of the little hoop. And that's it. Here it is, you guys. I think it turned out so cute. I absolutely love it. So today is all about Blue McGrays, like I said, and there is a playlist down below. Make sure you check all of these talented ladies out, and also make sure you check Monner's Market. Brenda, she is fabulous, and I just love her DIY, so make sure you check her out as well. So next is DIY number 2. So what I did is I took this little Easter bunny from the Dollar Tree. It's just one of those wooden ones. Looks like he's sitting. And some of that burlap ribbon and some florals. And now what I'm going to do is take some of this lavender folk art paint, and I wanted it to be a little bit darker, so I added some black to it, because you'll see in a minute. I just feel like I didn't want everything just to be the same color purple, so I wanted to make the bunny a little bit darker, and this really worked out, and I really like the color too that it turned out to be. So I don't know what you would call this color, but it's just a really dark purple. So what I did is I painted the bunny with that purple that I made, and I painted the whole thing in this color, and it turned out really good. And I did the front and the back, and then you'll see in a minute, to kind of make this bunny like kind of pop and make it look a little bit more, I don't know, so you could see it better, I guess. I don't know. But first what we're going to do is I took some of this burlap ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to make a bow. Now I usually don't show myself making bows because I'm not really good at it. I do the best I can, and I do use my bow dabber. Sometimes I use my other bow maker, but the easy bow maker, but I go back and forth. I don't know. I think they're both pretty cool to use, but it takes a lot of practice in my opinion. And I used also some of this lace ribbon that I got on Amazon. I got a whole package of this stuff, and I think it was like $10. I don't know how much it is now, because this was like last year. But it's super pretty, you guys. But I'll leave you a link in my description box below in case you're interested. And then what I did is I just, once I got them all in there, my little bow dabber, I just zip tied them together with a zip tie. And then I just poofed out my little loops, and of course I did the bottoms of the ribbons. I made them look real pretty, and I just played with this thing forever. It takes me forever to do bows, so that's why I don't really like recording me making bows. But anyway, so then what I did is I took the lavender paint and I stuck in a really thin paintbrush that I have, and I wanted to make like the bunny ears kind of like show a little bit more. So I made these like little squiggly lines. I don't know. I just thought this was cute. I've seen someone else do it. Country Charm, I believe. I watch her all the time, and she makes everything so rustic, and I just love her style. And she does this when she paints things. Sorry, excuse me. And I thought this was a neat idea because it just makes the whatever you're painting, it makes it look more, it makes it pop, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I can't find the right words, I'm sorry. And I think this turned out really cute. I love that I did this. So I tried it out and I like it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some of these florals up. So I did use some of these picks. These are also from the Dollar Tree. Whatever ones I could get from the Dollar Tree, I always do. And then sometimes I'll get a few Hobby Lobby florals here and there. you know, when they're on sale and they have their 50% off. So I just kind of mix it up. And I also use some of these white flowers. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick them going like kind of diagonally. So I'm going to have like one going up this way, and then I'm going to have them doing the same thing, going diagonally, going downward on the other side of the bow. I hope I'm explaining it right, but you'll see. And I was going to put a little cottontail on them, but I didn't like it, so I didn't put it on him. I thought it just didn't look right. So he doesn't have a cottontail, but that's okay. And of course, I stuck my little violets in there. And then what I did is I decided to bunch the bunch together and use a zip tie. It just made it much easier to zip tie them together the way I wanted them and then glue them down to my bunny, because I'm just going to put the bow on top and you're not going to see all that anyways. And it was just a lot easier to just rearrange them the way I wanted, zip tie them tight, and then just glue them down. And that's what I'm doing right here. And then I also took like a little piece of ribbon that was extra, and I also glued that down to kind of like, you know, extra security to keep them down and not come off. And that worked out very well as well. And then once I get that all glued down, what I'm going to do is take my bow and I'm going to glue that down next. And I think this turned out so cute. I think it's so rustic and so pretty. It's so my style. And I absolutely love it. And I'm getting ready for a craft show, so I'm debating if I want to sell this or not, because I just love the way it turned out. But maybe I'll have to make another one. So I do have extra, so I guess I could. But yeah. And I'm just ducktailing some of my ribbons. I forgot to do it, so that's all I'm doing there. And that's it for this one. Isn't he cute? I love it. I know his face is mostly covered, but you got the little ear sticking out, and then, you know, his little bunny feet at the bottom, and I just think it turned out so adorable. So now on to our last DIY. This is DIY number 3. Now this one, I took one of these little boxes. Now I know you guys have seen these. They got them in the Dollar Tree all the time. And I took some scrapbook paper that I had. It was just in one of the pads that I had. And I took the same color that I mixed, that lavender with the black, and I'm going to paint this little bunny from the Dollar Tree. It comes in a pack of like 6, I believe. And I painted him the same color. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the scrapbooking paper, and it's the same purple colors that I'm going with here. So I just traced out the top part of that little box, and I'm just going to Mod Podge this piece of scrapbook paper to that top part. And the bottom portion of the box, I'm actually going to paint that all white. So you'll see in a minute. But I just had to trace that out first. And I think this scrapbook paper is so pretty. And this was a humongous pad that I had. But now I'm just going in with some white chalk paint. And I'm just going to paint it white, like I said. And I just go around the front and the sides just to make everything look cohesive and together and all the same color. And now I'm just going to take the Mod Podge, like I said. And I'm just going to use my little sponge to spread it around. And then I'm going to take the scrapbook paper and I'm going to smooth it down. Really simple, and I just really pressed really good and make sure it stayed down. There were no bubbles. And actually, this scrapbook paper, when we get done, you're not even going to see it. So I don't even know why I did that, but just in case it peeks through, but you'll see in a minute. So I stuck this little bow that I had in my stash on the bunny, because there was that little hole, so I thought it'd be cute just to put a little bow on him. And then I stuck down some floral foam, and now I'm going to glue down my bunny. And I glued him down right there, but then I end up moving it up. I end up taking it off and moving him up because he was too far down, and then with the florals and everything, you couldn't really see him. So I had to end up moving him up more, which you'll see in a minute. So then I came in with more Spanish moss, and I just filled that in so you can't see the foam. And now what I'm going to do is make some shiplap lines. And I'm just using a charcoal. These are charcoal pencils that I have. And I just made a line with my ruler, and then I'm just smudging it with my finger. And I just did that on all sides of the little box. And now it looks like a little shiplap. And now I'm just gonna cut up my flowers, and I used a couple of the violets, and then I came in with some other little picks that I had, this one, and also some more of them white that I've been using. And I'm just going to stick them like where they're kind of climbing up the sides there, but I wanted the bunnies to still be able to see it, so I was trying to be very careful about that. And I'm trying to trim them down like short enough so that they're not like sticking way out. And yeah, and then I just went in with a couple of these little beautiful violets, and I stuck quite a few in there. And then I came in and stuck some of these purples, and I don't know what these are called. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not good with floral names. I know some, but just not all of them. And some of them just say a bush, so I don't know. It could be anything. They're like wildflowers, I think. And then I just stuck some more in. And then once I did all that, now you can see I moved the bunny up. I don't know if you could tell, but I moved him up. I decided to stick a little white egg in there, and I thought that would make a nice little touch to finish it off. And that's it for this DIY. This was super simple, you guys, but so pretty. Look at how cute. I absolutely love the way these turned out. I hope you guys like them too. Don't forget to check out everyone in the playlist. And I want to thank you guys for watching. And remember, stay crafty. Bye.